Fighting in mud, training for hours, and going years without seeing family. This is Kushti, a traditional form of Indian wrestling.
ऐसा है कि मतलब जैसे देखो रेसलर बनने के लिए पूरा मतलब सारा कुछ त्यागना पड़ता है.
Mauli Jamdade left his rural hometown when he was 15 to join this academy in Kolhapur. Today, he lives and trains at the century-old Gangavesh talim. This sport is a way out of poverty for many farming families. In just over a decade, Mauli has become one of the top fighters here, earning up to $4,000 from one competition. But India has shifted to favor wrestling on the mat over mud, and the tradition that goes back 2,500 years is dwindling. So what does it take to be one of India's mud wrestlers? And how is this traditional sport still standing? Becoming a Kushti fighter is all about discipline. Mauli wakes up at 3:55 a.m. every day. He starts his training sessions at dawn with some of the other 200 wrestlers who live here. They use their own and each other's body weight to build strength.
क्यों सारा कुछ लगा के सारी मतलब हर चीज़ की जान लगा के मतलब प्रैक्टिस भी करनी पड़ती है और हर चीज़ मतलब जान लगा के कुश्ती करनी पड़ती है.
They train 6 days a week, often under coach Vishwas Hargule. Mauli has been working with him since he joined the academy.
मतलब सारा कुछ ध्यान रखा जैसे मतलब अपने बच्चे को ध्यान रखते ना वैसा ध्यान रखा उन्होंने मेरा.
Vishwas has trained over 1,000 kids, and he doesn't go easy on them.
उसको मतलब लाड़ प्यार से नहीं, फिर मेहनत होने के बाद उससे लाड़ प्यार करो, वो चलेगा. लेकिन मेहनत करते वक्त अगर तुम लाड़ प्यार करोगे तो बच्चा मतलब नहीं करेगा.
In the afternoon, they hit the mud pit. Wrestlers warm up by preparing the dirt floor. They clear away stones and smooth it out. The dirt is mixed with turmeric, lemon, and salt to help wrestlers' injuries heal faster. It's swapped out every couple of years and sent to smaller talims. Many see the red soil as sacred because without it, they wouldn't have a career.
इसके कारण यहाँ की मिट्टी मिल गई मतलब भाग्य खुल गया बोलते हैं.
Before a match, Mauli warms up his joints with oil and starts planning.
1-1.5 घंटा पहले जो स्टडी होती है कुश्ती की जिसके साथ कुश्ती है मतलब जैसे कि मेरा कोई अपोजिट है उसके बारे में ये क्या करता है ये कौन से दाव लगाता है मैं उस पर कौन से दाव लगाऊं.
Wrestlers cover themselves in dirt at the start of each match to create more friction between their bodies. This is just practice, so there's no winner or loser. But Mauli still gives it his all.
पहलवानों का ऐसा है कि उसकी मंजिल कभी पूरी नहीं हुई.
The goal is to pin the opponent's shoulders to the soil. They use moves similar to other forms of wrestling, like locks and throws. Mauli and his opponent reapply the soil as they sweat to get a better grip. With their feet planted in the dirt, wrestlers move slowly. A real match can last as long as 1 hour. By the end, they're soaked in mud.
कुछ नहीं ऐसा ना वो तो बढ़िया फील होता है क्योंकि हम आदत सी है मिट्टी की तो कुछ नहीं लगता है ऐसे तो बढ़िया लगती है.
Mauli isn't done for the day when the practice match is over.
बॉडी तो पूरी थकी हुई है लेकिन अभी भी बाकी है थोड़ा सा वर्कआउट वो पूरा करेंगे.
Mud wrestling has roots that date back to at least the 5th century BC. It evolved out of an ancient form of Indian wrestling, mixed with Persian martial arts. The sport thrived in Kolhapur at the turn of the 20th century. The district's ruler, Shahu Maharaj, was a fan of the art and built talims all over the region, including this one. But mud fighting saw a shift about 15 years ago. when India started prioritizing mat wrestling. The government wanted its athletes to compete internationally, so many talims had to adapt and started investing in mats, including this one.
कैसे है मैट और मट्टी मैट पे तो ज़रूरी ही है मतलब इस वक्त में मैट पे ज़रूरी है क्योंकि मैट पे करोगे तुम ओलंपिक तक जा सकते हो.
But here they still practice in the traditional mud pits because they believe it makes them better wrestlers on the mat too.
कैसा है कि आज मतलब हर गेम में कुछ ना कुछ चेंज होता ही रहता है तो जो पहले वाला अपना है वो रखना ही चाहिए.
Mud wrestling competitions, called dangals, still draw crowds in Kolhapur. And they always open with a ceremony, playing traditional Indian horns and drums. The cash prizes for this tournament depend on how much money the dangal organizers were able to raise from local fans. Young wrestlers take home just a small part of the pool, sometimes around $1 per win. But older, more experienced fighters can walk away with up to $1,000. That's why low-income families often send their kids to live at talims, hoping they'll get good enough to make a living. Fighters also live and train for free, but there's little comfort. Most of them sleep in shared dorms that can fit up to 50 people at a time. And with packed schedules every day, they rarely get the chance to visit home. Mauli has gone up to 4 years without seeing his family.
कि घर वालों की याद आएगी मैं घर चला जाऊंगा तो मेरा वो टारगेट जो बना हुआ है वो पूरा नहीं होगा.
But the wrestlers find family in each other.
घर वालों की तरह जैसे भाई भाई रहते ना वैसे रहते हम सारे यहाँ पे क्योंकि जैसे एक घर ही है हमारा ये सारा पूरा कंपटीशन के टाइम कंपटीशन बाकी टाइम हम एक भाई के जैसे रहते हैं सारे लोग.
Mauli's dedication has paid off. He says he earns up to $55,000 in a 4-month season. It would take a typical farming family over 35 years to make that much. Getting to that level takes a lot of time and practice, which is why kids start young.
यहाँ रेसलिंग ऐसी है कि बड़ी उम्र में नहीं हो सकती.
Some of the youngest are here for just the summer, so the talim is especially crowded this time of year. But during the height of the pandemic, it looked completely different. Wrestlers couldn't make any money for 2 years when competition stopped.
मतलब उस टाइम तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि पहलवानी ख़त्म हो जाएगी क्योंकि जो गरीब घर के बच्चे थे उनके पास पैसा नहीं था वो तो मतलब अखाड़ा छोड़ चले गए थे और उस टाइम सारे अखाड़े बंद थे.
Wrestlers are responsible for their own food and expenses, and those costs can add up, especially with the diets they have to maintain.
जितना प्रोटीन बॉडी को मिलेगा वो बॉडी उतनी आगे प्रैक्टिस के लिए ये देगी सपोर्ट देगी.
Most days they eat chicken, lamb, and eggs. But today is Saturday, so they're making vegetarian dal.
क्योंकि शनिवार हमारे यहाँ पे मतलब हनुमान जी का मानते हैं उसका व्रत भी रखते हैं शनिवार को इसके कारण वो शनिवार नहीं खाते हम.
Mauli is now a veteran at this talim, mentoring the younger wrestlers. But he still remembers his first day here.
वहाँ बहुत कंपटीशन था बहुत मतलब आगे बहुत सारे पहलवान थे मेरे आगे बहुत बड़े बड़े पहलवान थे उनको देख के ही मुझे मतलब मैं बनने की ये हो गया.
Now he's treated like a celebrity.
और मिट्टी वालों पहलवानों को ही पसंद करती है और उनको ही पहचानती है ज़्यादा. बढ़िया लगता है क्योंकि जो मैंने प्रैक्टिस की है वर्जिश की है उसका ये हो गया लगता है ऐसे.
Mauli hopes to keep wrestling for another decade, and he believes the ancient tradition of Kushti isn't going anywhere.
नहीं तो मतलब जैसे पहले से ही मिट्टी वाली कुश्ती है और बहुत देर तक मिट्टी वाली कुश्ती चलेगी.